Dear students, so welcome to your communicative English class. And today we are going to learn a new topic, and I must tell you this topic is very important in English because this helps to improve your writing, speaking, reading, listening or whatever it is. It improves the 4 basic skills of English. So this is a very important part or a very important topic in your communicative English class, and I must tell everyone should listen to it very clearly, very carefully and understand what am I talking. Okay, so let's begin with today's topic. The first one that is, you can see on the board, what is our topic today? It is sentence structure. That means today we are going to going to start with learning the structure of a sentence. We know that while we are writing a letter or an essay or whatever or a long sentence in English, we come across with many difficulties, like to form a sentence, how to construct a sentence, isn't it? So today you will be learning, or you will be understanding how to form a complete sentence. And I should tell you, there are about 17 to 18 rules for forming a complete sentence. That means there are many rules to form a complete sentence. And today we'll be learning the half of it. So let's begin. So the first rule over here is, so I have written on the board, there are many rules to form complete sentence. There are many rules. So today we'll be learning half of it. Okay, so what is the first one? Yes, the first rule over here is a complete sentence should have a noun and a verb. What is it? What is the first rule? The complete sentence. A sentence to become complete, what it should have? It should have a noun and a verb. Do you know what is this noun and a verb? What is it? What is a noun? Yes, you know, you might have learned it in your lower classes. What is a noun? Noun means it can be a name of a place or a thing or a person, or yeah, that's it. That is a noun. Noun means, noun can be the name of a person, place or a thing. This is the basic definition of noun. I can say Ria, or I can say Fida, or I can say Ram, or I can say Ahmed, or I can say like Fatima, whatever it is. All these are what? What is it? They are noun, isn't it? Or I can say the United States of America, or I can say India, or I can say Australia, or that's it. I can say the United Arab Emirates. What is it? All these are nouns, isn't it? Yes. So noun means the name of a person, place or a thing. Or I can say duster. Duster is the name of a thing, isn't it? Or I can say a bench, isn't it? All these are nouns. Okay. Now what do you mean by a verb? What do you mean by verb? Verb means an action. They are the action words. Or I can say running, walking, playing, sitting, dancing, singing. All these are the verbs. Verbs means what? They are the actions, or what is a noun doing. The action of the noun, that is known as a verb. That means sitting, running, walking, cooking, singing, dancing. All these are verb. Okay, so a complete sentence should have a noun and a verb. Okay, I have wrote an example over here. The boy wrote. What is the example? The boy wrote. Can you see which is the noun over here? Yes, it is the noun, isn't it? Instead of the boy, I can write Fida. Fida wrote. Over here, Fida. Fida is a noun, isn't it? Now, what is the verb over here? The verb is wrote. That means writing, isn't it? So, Fida is the noun over here and wrote is the verb over here. Okay, so a complete sentence or a complete sentence should have a noun and a verb. You got it? Over here, Fida, or I can say the boy, whatever it is. The boy or Fida, whatever it is, correct. It is a noun. Noun should be a name of a person, place, or a thing. Okay? Yes. So Fida wrote. Fida is the noun over here. To form a complete sentence, it should have a noun and a verb. Verb means the action words. That means what is the noun doing? That is the verb. Okay? Wrote means it is writing. Okay, so wrote is the verb over here. You got it? You got the first rule? The first rule is the sentence should have a complete sentence. That's it. A complete sentence should have a noun and a verb. That is the first rule. You got it? Yes, very good. Now the next one, the second sentence. What is the second rule? What is the second rule over here? The second rule is a complete sentence should have a subject and predicate. What is it? What is the second rule over here? Second rule is a complete sentence should have a subject and predicate. So I can explain it through an example. Okay, I will explain it through an example. Can you see over here? The handsome boy wrote quickly. What is it? The handsome boy. Instead of handsome, I can also use intelligent, isn't it? I can say intelligent or whatever it is. I can say the intelligent boy. Instead of handsome, I use the word intelligent. Whatever it is you can use. Or you can say the young boy or the little boy. Whatever it is. As per your convenience, you can use it. Okay. So what I have written over here? The sentence, that is, it should have a subject and a predicate. Okay. So the intelligent boy wrote quickly. Can you say which is the subject over here and which is the predicate over here? Do you know what is the subject and the predicate? Subject means the you can say the starting word. Okay, the starting word in a sentence. That is a subject. Do you know what is a predicate? Predicate means the verb. Okay, sorry, not the verb. Sorry, predicate means the object. Okay, predicate is the object, or you can say it can be the verb also. That is the predicate. Okay, so predicate is the ending portion of a sentence and subject is the beginning portion of a sentence. Okay, so in a sentence there will be a beginning portion. Beginning means the starting portion and predicate is the ending. Ending means the finishing portion. Okay, so a sentence should have a beginning or a starting portion, that is a subject, and it should also have a predicate. Predicate means the finishing portion or the ending portion. You got it? Yes. Now let's see what is the subject over here. The subject is intelligent boy. What is it? What is the subject over here? It is the intelligent boy. And what is the predicate over here? So I will write S over here. What is the predicate over here? It is wrote quickly. So what is the example over here? The intelligent boy wrote quickly. As I told you, the intelligent boy is the subject and wrote quickly is the predicate. What is it? Predicate. So I must tell you, in a subject, there should be the noun. So always in a sentence, noun will come under the subject. Okay? What happens? In a sentence, the starting portion or the beginning portion will be the subject and that subject will include the noun. And we know that the noun over here is the boy, isn't it? Isn't it? The boy is the noun. So the intelligent boy, this entire portion is the starting or the beginning portion. So I must tell you, it should have a subject, that is the intelligent boy is the subject over here. Okay, you got it? Yes. Now, wrote quickly. You know, wrote is the verb, isn't it? Wrote is the verb, isn't it? Quickly, it is another adjective. Okay, so what happens? Here, wrote quickly become the predicate. So what is it? The verb as well as the object or the verb should come under the predicate. Okay, so in a sentence, there should be a subject and a predicate. Subject means what? It can be more than 2 words. A subject can be more than 2 words, or we can say that it is the beginning portion or the starting portion of a sentence. Okay, yes. Now, the predicate is the ending portion or the finishing portion. So, the finishing portion will include the verb and the noun will be included in the subject. Okay, you got the difference? So a complete sentence should have a noun and a verb. That is the first rule. Okay. Now the second rule is that it should have a subject and a predicate. It should have a subject and a predicate. Okay, you got it? Yes, very good. Now the third rule. What is the third rule over here? And the third rule is the exception will be given to. That means these two rules, this 1 and 2, these two rules that we have learned is not applicable, or it is not used or usable with the imperative sentence. Do you know what is this imperative sentence? Imperative sentence. Just understand. Students, I must tell you something, like while you are learning this sentence structure, there will be many words that will come across that you might not be heard. Okay, but I will explain to you each and every word that we will be coming across in this structure. Okay, yes. So what is an imperative sentence? Imperative sentence means, we can say it is a kind of instruction, or we are instructing someone, like go away. Okay, go away. It is an imperative sentence. Or I can say shut up. It is an imperative sentence. Shut up, go away, write fast, or keep silence. All these are what? Imperative sentence. So what is the peculiarity, or what is an important feature of this imperative sentence is that it doesn't need a subject. In case of imperative sentence, it doesn't need a subject. It requires only the predicate. That is the finishing portion. That is go away, or keep silence, or start writing, or we can say shut up. All these are imperative sentence. Imperative means a person is instructing someone. He is giving some orders, or he is giving some instructions to the others. So these are the imperative sentence. So in case of imperative sentence, these two rules are not applicable or are not used. So you got the difference? Yes, yes. So what is it? These two rules, that is noun and a verb, and the predicate as well as the subject. These two rules are not applicable, or they are not used. They are not used in the imperative sentence. Imperative sentence, it only requires the predicate. It needs only the predicate, that is an ending portion or the finishing portion. Okay, so an imperative sentence only requires the finishing portion or the ending portion, that is shut up, or stop. Yes, stop the vehicle, whatever it is, stop it. That is not to stop the vehicle, stop it, or shut up, or go away. All these are imperative sentence because it doesn't need any kind. It takes the form of a complete sentence, but it doesn't have any subject. Okay, it doesn't have any subject. It has only the predicate or the object. So you got the difference. So that is only these rules will be covering. 3 rules will be covering today. The rest of the rules, I must tell you, there are many more rules you have to learn, but we'll be going step by step, then we'll be understanding it more clearly. Okay, so what is the first one? It should have a noun and a verb. Noun means a name of a person, place, or a thing. Verb means what the noun is doing, or the action words: running, writing, reading, playing, studying, sitting, dancing, music, singing. All these are the action words. Okay, that is example Frida wrote. You got it? Now the second one, it should have a subject and a predicate. Subject means a starting portion or a beginning portion of a sentence. That means a subject will always include the noun. A subject will always include the noun, and a subject can have more than two words. Okay, more than one word or more than 2 words. Okay, now what do you mean by predicate? Predicate is the ending portion or the finishing portion of a sentence. It will include the verb. It will be including the verb, and predicate can also be more than 2 words. Okay, you got it? Yes. Now today's last rule is that it is an exception to these 2 rules are not applicable, or these 2 rules are not used in the imperative sentence. Okay, you got it? So this is all about today's class. We'll be continuing with the same topic in the coming classes. I hope you might have understood. If you have any doubt in these 3 rules, please ask me. Thank you, students. We'll meet again in the next class.